You know how it is. You've been doing the same workout for the past 6 months. You're bored of it. You want to try something new. But this time you don't want to do somebody else's plan. You want to come up with something on your own. And that's what you should want to do. So, I want a better chest. Let's do some push-ups. I want a wider back. That look good. Pull-ups. You want a six-pack. Females love six-packs. Sit-ups. That works. And you want some nice looking legs. You don't like them chicken legs. Squats is always good for that. Then what's next? What about my cardio? How many days in the week am I gonna be doing this? What are my goals? These are some of the things you need to consider before you actually sit down and make a workout plan. So today I'll be talking about some of the things that I do when I'm trying to develop a plan, and maybe some of these ideas will help you out going forward. Now, before you try to start putting together a workout or whatever, you gotta figure out what is your goal. I know a lot of people just wanna look good, which is decent and everything, but you gotta put something behind that. Like, you gotta know, are you trying to just burn fat? Are you trying to get muscular? Are you trying to get stronger? Like, what is the specific goal? Because just trying to look good ain't gonna cut it. You also want to think about what type of environment are you going to be in. Are you going to be at the gym? Are you going to be at your house? Are you going to be at the park? You're going to be at the beach? Because that makes a huge difference on the amount of equipment you'll have to work with, as well as the space. So that's something you want to think about, because you might need to change your environment just to fit what you actually want to do. Thirdly, you want to think about how much time do you have to work out and how often are you going to be doing it. Like me, I got about an hour and a half every morning. I know some people like to go after work. I go before work, but I find that after work I'm a lot more tired. So when I do it in the morning time, I use that energy that I got from my workout to help propel me through the day. So because of that, I only got about like an hour and a half, but I know a lot of people might have 2 or 3 hours if they choose to do it after work. You also want to think about how often you will be working out. Are you going to be working out 4, 5, 6, or even 7 days out the week? I know that sounds intense, but it's possible. Couldn't be me. I got a life, but that might be what you want to do. And lastly, before you start to make your workout, I would suggest using an app. So I use the GFit app, and it's helpful because it keeps all your data. So I've been using that app since 2012. Man, it's 2018 and it still got my workouts from back in the day. And that's useful because it comes up with all these metrics and it lets you know how you progressed or regressed over the past few years. Alright, now it's time to make your workout plan. First things first, is your workout going to be based on the day of the week, or are you going to do it in the cyclical numerical sequence? And the benefit of doing it cyclically, at least to me, is you're not forced to do the same thing every day of the week. That way, if you miss a day, you won't have to stress yourself out and skip a day because you always want to be doing chest on Monday, or you always want to be doing legs on Tuesday. Instead, when you make it through the whole cycle of the routine, you just start over from day 1. Step 2. Choose when you'll be doing your compound exercises versus your isolations. You never want to try to do like a tricep extension the day after you just did a bunch of chest presses, because your triceps go into the actual chest press. So you won't be able to do it. You'll be sore. You won't be able to put in your full potential. So choose wisely when it comes to your compounds versus your isolation exercises. Thirdly, when putting together your routine, make sure you pay attention to your problem areas. Like personally, I have trouble with my calves. They don't grow as much as I want them to, so whenever I come up with something new, I always make sure that I give at least 2 or 3 days to calf exercises. Maybe not one day after the other, but I make sure to put a lot of effort into it. Number 4, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this one, but I think I do because a lot of people forget. But you want to do at least 1 day of cardio. I know if you're doing like a bulking routine or something, you don't want to burn any calories because sometimes that will burn muscle as well. But if you go a whole month or 2 without doing cardio, it's almost impossible to start it back up. It'll feel like the worst thing in the world trying to run 2 miles on a treadmill if you haven't done it in 3 or 4 months. So the best thing to do is just not to stop. Maybe tone it down a little bit, don't do it as much, but you never want to completely cut out cardio from a routine. Number 5, tweak the workout as you go along. No matter how much time you put into actually writing it out on paper, by the time you get into the gym and start to do it, you'll notice some things that needs to be changed. So don't be scared to do that. Change it as you go along to make it fit the goal that you're trying to achieve. Because if you know something doesn't feel right, chances are it's not right. And lastly, this doesn't really go into putting together the workout, but you actually want to find a way to keep data. So like I told you, if you have an app, that's a good way to track data automatically, because all you have to do is extract it. But you also want to keep track of like your weight, your strength, your body fat percentage, and measure it every 30 days just to see like, is this workout working or not? Because nobody wants to spend 4 or 5 months doing a workout just to realize at the end that it didn't gain you anything. When it comes to making a workout, those are the main things I think you should consider. The more times you do it, the better you get at it. I do it like every 4 or 5 months. It keeps it interesting, it keeps you wanting to go to the gym, and it keeps you trying new things and doing more research. So I strongly suggest making your own workouts other than using other people's, but it's all up to what type of person you are. So do whatever works for you. Alright, I'm Camcorder. Be sure to like, comment, or subscribe if you feel like it. Thanks for watching.